Hi, Linda Sessions here, and welcome to week 6 in business communication. And this week is a big week for you because this is the week that you're going to be doing your communication paper that's worth 100 points. So let's get right into the class in Blackboard or Canvas, and see what's going on. So here in the class in Canvas in week 6, you've got your discussion board. So let's take a look real quick at what the discussion board is this week. It's talking about artificial intelligence. Now you only have to look at 2 of the prompts. You don't have to answer all 5 of them, just 2 of them. We know that artificial intelligence, because of what we've looked at already in this class, is transforming the business landscape. It's changing how we do work. It's changing everything. Decision-making, customer interactions. What are the implications, benefits, and challenges with AI in the business world? So I want you to look at 2 of these: operational efficiency, customer positive experience, or what about customer negative experience? I'm sure you can come up with some really quick on those, right? Challenges of AI implementation. Do you work somewhere where they're talking about implementing AI solutions, and how is that going? And impacts on jobs and skills. One question that I get asked a lot is, how is AI going to impact the job market? Now, I think there's always going to be a human component in education, but AI has changed the way a lot of instructors work and how we work with the classes. But what about other jobs? Is there going to be an impact on other jobs and skills? What do you think? So that's the discussion board this week. Then the communication in retail paper. Now, this one is worth 100 points. What I want you to do is I want you to look at these 2 emails. Now, we looked at emails last week in week 5. Positive, negative emails. I want you to analyze these 2 emails. There's email example 1 and email example 2. One of them is a proper communication. The other is improper. I want you to write me a paper letting me know, okay, these are the components of a proper email. And email example 1 is a proper email because, and then write it out. Or email 2 is a proper email because. Then I want to know, well, what makes an improper email communication? I want you to list that out and then tell me which email example is the improper email. So that's the first half of this. You're going to write an email. The second half of this is you're going to write a response email. Now, this needs to look like an email. You're not emailing anybody, but it needs to be set up like an email. So like there needs to be a subject line. There needs to be a body. The body needs to be a couple of paragraphs in length. And I want you to, whichever email 1 or email 2, whichever is the proper email, I want you to address that for the consumer. What are you going to be telling the consumer? You need to acknowledge the consumer's issue, apologize for any inconvenience, offer a solution of some sort, and then reinforce your commitment to customer satisfaction, and make sure, again, that you have a subject. And your email signature at the end of that email, you need to make sure you include your title and your contact information. And if you tell them somewhere in your email, hey, we'll be happy to send you a replacement, well, how are they going to send you that replacement? All of that needs to be in that reply email. So first part, you're going to write a paper explaining what the difference between a proper email, what it is, what is an improper email, and which of these email examples is the proper and improper email, and why. And it needs to be a paper. Then I want you to write an email. Okay, I will be looking at clarity in your paper, and email professionalism, Did you identify the correct email? And I'm going to be looking at your response email, the tone. Did you include everything in there for your consumer? I will also be looking at grammar and punctuation. So there's a lot of you that are having trouble with capital letters. So, hey, this is a business communication class. If it's don't have the right grammar, spelling, and punctuation, you're going to lose points right off the get-go. So this last line, good luck. And remember that effective communication can greatly impact customer relations. You can have a customer that's having a lousy experience, but if they get the right email with the right tone, it can change everything for that customer. So that is the SLO communication in retail paper. You're also going to be looking at chapter 9 and 10, managing and visualizing data and then writing reports. Now, you don't have to write a report other than the email, analyzing that email paper, but you do have quizzes over both of those two chapters, the Learn It quiz and the Apply It quiz over that managing and visualizing data and writing reports. So all of that information is there. So make sure that you get those all done and get all those turned in on time. So that is week 6. As always, I'm here for you. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Check your grades. If you have any questions regarding your grades in Canvas, please reach out and let me know. And have a great week. Bye.